Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to our beloved lecturer, Dr. Siti Marsila binti Muhammad Ruslan. Today we are from group 16 who are Muhammad Nur AIMAN bin Muhammad Ali, Muhammad Shahmi bin Muhammad Shukri, Muhammad LUQMAN HAKIM bin SAIDIN, BALQIS binti AZHAR and Nur HANYSHA will presenting about chapter 1, which is overview of maritime industry in Malaysia. Malaysia has become the most strategic maritime hub for shipping and trade due to existence of South China Sea and Strait of Malacca. Maritime industry can be defined as trade by sea, where it transfers people and goods using sea transport that involve export and import activities. It focuses on port, shipping, oil and gas, logistics, shipbuilding and repair, marine tourism and fisheries, and other maritime auxiliary services. There are 31 ports in Malaysia, included 7 major federal ports, which are Port Klang, Johor Port, Port of Tanjung Pelepas, Kuantan Port, Penang Port, Bintulu Port and Kemaman Port. Malaysia is a real maritime nation and owns the largest port in Southeast Asia, which is Port Klang and Port of Tanjung Pelepas. Nowadays, major federal ports are expanding their capacities to ensure that they can receive a large vessel to berth for loading and unloading activities that contribute to economic growth. Malacca is one of the states in Malaysia which is located in southern region of Malay Peninsula next to the Strait of Malacca. It is a historical city that has been listed by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. Since it was established as epicentre of maritime trade, Malacca International Trade Centre was opened in June 2003. The Strait of Malacca was a historical shipping metropolis until today, which flows between Malaysia, Indonesia and Singapore. It is a waterway connecting the Andaman Sea, which is Indian Ocean, and the South China Sea, which is Pacific Ocean. It was a major gateway for trade to and from Asia, which is the shortest sea route for maritime trade. It allowed oil shipment to be supplied to China and Indonesia and become the important transit route for shipment of LNG that are from Persian Gulf and African supplier to East Asian countries.
Okay, now I will explain the new economic policy as catalyst maritime industry. The new economic policy is a policy launched by the Malaysian government in 1970 through the second Malaysia Plan, which was also introduced at the same time by the second Prime Minister of Malaysia, that is Tun Abdul Razak bin Hussein. The goal of the new economic policy is to achieve national unity and national integration while reducing economic, social, cultural, settlement differences in the context of two-pronged strategy. The first strategy is to reduce and ultimately eradicate poverty by increasing income and increasing employment opportunities regardless of the race. It pushed the catalyst for the maritime industry in a more advanced direction because it has created or opened more employment sector in the field, and it also creates more job opportunities in the maritime fields. Increased employment opportunities throughout Malaysia should be done because it can ensure that the average monthly salary of each race is in the same or balanced position. The second strategy is to accelerate the process of economic restructuring to correct economic imbalance, and further, it can eliminate economic function according to race in Malaysia. The restructuring of society to eliminate the identification of race according to the economic function is something that is best, especially in the maritime industry, because every layer of society is no different and does not need to be separate even if they are foreign workers. So, the function of new economic policy is very important in maritime industry because it can re-stabilize every economic function to be shared by all sections of society and race in Malaysia, in addition to helping each race in generating and increasing monthly income.
For APEC as trade participation for development of maritime industry, in 1994, APEC leaders committed to achieve both goals of free and open trade by 2020. This is implemented by reducing trade barriers between regional countries and promoting the free flow of goods, services and capital among APEC member countries. This implementation brings a positive impact on the development of the maritime industry in Malaysia and also raise up the trade growth. Besides that, APEC economy has centralized an online export-import process to speed up the request for goods for trade. The system connects all government agencies involved in the export-import process. By this implementation, goods can be traded faster and also prevent the goods from being damaged due to taking a long period of time to be processed. This can lead to the development of the Malaysian maritime industry. Moreover, the implementation of APEC's Ocean and Fisheries Working Group or FWG, it intended to support APEC's mission to foster sustainable economic growth, prosperity in the ASEAN Pacific region. This implementation helped the country's maritime industry sector to grow better and progress. Next, for ASEAN Strait participation for development of maritime industry, the establishment of ASEAN Free Trade Area AFTA affected the development of maritime industry. A tax-free zone between ASEAN countries create a huge potential market for Malaysian exporters. This establishment also encouraged Malaysian exports and further influenced the development of Malaysian maritime industry. Besides that, the establishment of ASEAN also affected maritime transport. ASEAN member countries, including Malaysia, have sought to market maritime transport liberalization progressively to increase regional maritime performance by establishing ASEAN Maritime Transport Cooperation. Maritime sector is able to operate efficiently in a single shipping and delivery market quality service at competitive price. Therefore, the development of maritime transport sector can be enhanced with this implementation.
WTO is the World Trade Organization. WTO is the only global international organization dealing with the rule of trade between nations. Malaysia is the one of the earliest WTO members. Malaysia has been a WTO member since 1st January 1995 and a member of Agreement of Tariff and Trade (GATT) since 24 October 1957. The function of the WTO is to regulate the foreign political trade system between countries. Malaysian trade participation in WTO had a positive impact on the development of maritime industry in Malaysia. Malaysia membership in WTO has helped in the country's economic growth. It can be concluded that WTO brings a lot of benefit to our countries. MSO. MSO refers to the Merchant Shipping Ordinance. In general, MSO linked to the coalition. With this MSO, coalition issue in Malaysia can be negotiated well, fairly and equitably. There are 6 parts in MSO, which is Part 1 is about preliminary, Part 2 is about civil liability for oil and bunker oil pollution, Part 3 is about the International Oil Pollution Compensation Fund. Part 4 is about jurisdiction and effect of judgment. Part 5 is about enforcement and the last part is about miscellaneous. MSO also include requirements that relate to civil litigation in connection with maritime coalition. For example, according to Section 517 stated that action against a vessel for claim or claims shall take place within 2 years from the date on which the damage, loss or accident happened.
4.0 Potential of Malacca Strait to boost and facilitate maritime trade. Strait of Malacca is the one of the main delivery stream on the planet from above, a financial and a vital point of view. Facilities at the port of Malacca, one reason why the port is the principal addition of numerous machines. Malacca serves as an interport center. The financial advancement of Exchange Malacca realized upon the pretended by the Port of Malacca as an interport community. In the wake of accepting political insurance from China, the function of Port of Malacca interport turned out to be more fast because of the presence of more unfamiliar machine.
Maritime sector vital role as a key contributor to the nation economy that is accelerating year by year due to the development of technology. Malaysia plans some initiative for development and sustainability for maritime sector. The first one is Economic Transformation Program ETP from 2010 until 2020. The second one is Logistic and Trade Facilitation Master Plan from 2015 until 2020. The third one is 11 Malaysian Plan EMP from 2016 until 2020. And the last one is Malaysian Shipping Master Plan MSMP from 2017 until 2022, hoping that Malaysia will retain the status of maritime nation in the future.